Hey there guys, Zach here from WinBeta, and welcome to episode number 34 of the WinBeta podcast for the week of, what's the date? 25th of September 2015.
Almost got through the whole script.
Almost. With me as co-host Sean Michael. Hey there, Sean.
Hey there, how's it going?
And this week we'll be talking about a number of different Microsoft-related stories. This week we have a number of Lumia 950, 950 XL, and 550 specs and images leaks, which I think we've seen these devices before, but they've leaked again and confirmed the specs of the upcoming devices. We've also got something about the Lumia 750, maybe something on that soon. And we've also got Windows 10 stuff. Not a lot of Windows 10 stuff this week. One story really, and it's the Microsoft and Baidu, the Chinese partnership with Microsoft. Then we've got some gaming stuff, Halo 5, some Halo and Minecraft. Then we've also got the launch of Office 2016, which is arguably the biggest story of the week, even though it's not that big of a story. And then obviously the poll, and of course our special rapid fire round at the end. So Sean, how have you been?
I'm pretty good. Yeah. I have to turn to the left, and it looks really bad.
Sit up. You got to have good posture on the podcast.
No, I don't care about the posture. It's just everyone will notice that my headset looks funny. In any event, good week here. You know, the Office 2016 launch. I tweeted about this. It's kind of like a holiday that only some people celebrate.
Yeah.
Like, for some people, it's a huge deal. Like, you know, Office, collaboration, all that stuff. For me, it's not a big deal. Like, we cover it, that's cool. But it was kind of funny to see everybody kind of freak out on Twitter for a day or so.
Yeah. It was. But yes, Office, yeah.
How about you? Good week?
I had a great week. Good week indeed. I got a new PC. We are streaming perfectly. I have OneNote, I have Edge open, I have Skype, and I've still got, let's see my CPU usage. Keep in mind that on my old PC, having just XSplit running on its own would take up 100%, and the web version of Skype, because I couldn't launch the desktop version, and that was 100% CPU. On this PC, I'm using 21% of my CPU.
All right, so before we get into the show today, let's go through everybody knows all the news. They're here because they're amazing and they just want to chat with us, right?
Absolutely.
No, we'll talk about the news too. But let's run through your new PC setup, because you just built this PC that could like run a planet. So what do you got set up?
I have the latest Skylake Intel Core i7. Not yet overclocked, so I am definitely going to overclock it when I get the time. It's pretty simple actually, you just go into the BIOS and just up the clock speed, which is pretty nice. Since they come unlocked anyway, so that's fantastic. I only stuck 16 gigs of RAM in it because...
only
because I don't need 32 gigabytes of RAM, even though Team Gnome insisted it was something to get. But oh well, I didn't get it. Team Gnome's in chat telling me to get a real PC because apparently the Intel i7 Skylake isn't powerful enough for what I need to do. It's fine, Team Gnome. But yes, I got that. What else has it got? It's got like a 500 gigs SSD in it and all that good stuff. And everything else is pretty much the same. So, I've got a GTX 960. Even though that's not like the most powerful graphics card, it's absolutely fine for what I need it to do. So I didn't buy it. I would have got, if I was going to get one, I would have got a Titan X, I think it is. Or a 980 Ti, but I didn't because I don't really need it, and I play Xbox instead, really, because yes.
Well, there you go. Now I have a question for you.
What?
On that setup, if you stream Windows 10 to your computer, is there less lag, or is that just an inherent part of the design?
There's way less lag.
Really? Yeah, I was wondering because I have a Wii U, which is by no means a powerful device compared to some of these other things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the Wii U's entire setup was built so that you could stream to the handheld controller. Like you talked about how you'd want like an Xbox like that. Yeah. It's like a Surface / Xbox. Well, to some extent, that's what the Wii U has. And there's no lag whatsoever. So I was thinking this week, why is there a lag when you stream the Xbox One? They need to like optimize that. So I guess if you have a better computer, it does that better.
Yeah, also... It's over the internet, whereas I think that Nintendo does it over a different Bluetooth
that's true.
Or wireless connection or sort, but it's not the internet, so...
Is there a way that Microsoft could change that?
You need specific hardware.
Maybe that's the
like
Surface
Xbox. I see.
Or a Surface Xbox adapter that allows you to hook up your controller and makes the latency less because it works through something other than the internet.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, so there you go.
Yeah,
Cool.
so yeah, we should actually get started with the stories. We have a podcast.
I guess we can. Whatever. You got some stuff this week. Go nuts.
I'm actually not going to kick off with the first story that's listed. Let's kick off with the one below it and then move to that one.
Sweet.
So this week, details regarding the Lumia 950, 950 XL, and the 550 leaked again. They leaked today, actually. These are slides of what appear to be from some kind of slideshow. They might be shown off at an upcoming event, but they detail everything that we've pretty much already known about the 950 and the 950 XL. But the 950 features a 5.2-inch Quad HD screen, Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 hexa-core processor, 20 megapixel pure view camera, 32 gigabytes and 3 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of storage, 3 gigabytes of RAM, and USB-C. And the 5.7 and the 950 XL is a 5.7 Quad HD Qualcomm 810 octa-core processor with the same camera and storage and RAM and all that good stuff. So pretty high-spec devices. I know many people aren't too happy with the design. That is, well, I mean, until you've got hands on it, you can't really, judge by the renders, because the renders, sometimes renders don't look too good.
Well, don't you think that these photos look better than the previous renders that we'd seen?
Yeah, they do look better, especially the one where the woman's holding the device. I think it looks really nice.
Let me see.
I don't think we've got it on here, but
I'm opening the store. Oh, okay. I've seen that one though. You tweeted it too, and you said,
Yeah.
"I wish I could be this happy."
I wish. She's so happy in the photo. All right, and the 550 specs: 5-inch HD Gorilla Glass 3 screen, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 1 GHz quad core, 5 megapixel autofocus camera, and an 8 gigabyte of internal storage with 1 gigabyte of RAM plus a microSD card slot, which I think is the same on the 950 XL as well. So there is a microSD slot on the 950 and the 950 XL, and that's pretty much all that. So the 950 seems to be like a low end. Well, I mean, it is low end. It's in the 500 range. So if you're expecting a high end device from that range, you are going to be disappointed. So that's pretty much all. We've known all that information for a long time. But they've now technically been confirmed, because these look like official renders. Slides from a PowerPoint by Microsoft or from a carrier of some kind.
I like that our intro. It's like, we have to toss in the obligatory allegedly qualifier, of course. But until Microsoft's October 6th events, well, blah blah blah. You know what we're saying.
Yeah.
I think that these photos look pretty good. I think you can definitely see that they took some design elements from the Lumia 830, which is a very popular device in terms of looks.
Do you think so? I think
so.
I think they took it from the 640.
How about a mix of the two? Because it's got the camera thing that looks like
the back. Yeah, I'm right for the back.
The back looks a lot like the 830. Oh, look at that, a fire truck. That's a good thing to have in a podcast. Or is that police? Interesting side note, in Adobe Premiere Pro, or maybe, no, it's probably Audition, you can now remove like a background noise, which would be a wonderful feature if there wasn't for right now when there's 5 emergency vehicles or whatever. But yeah, they showed me you can actually, like, a truck was backing up, and you can go into the saturation of the audio and only remove the beeping of the truck backing up.
Wow, that's cool.
So yeah, if we have that, that'd be
that would be great.
Or they could just not drive by my house when I'm recording. In any event, I think that looks pretty good. I think it looks like a 640 mixed with an 830, which is nice.
Yeah, I think they look great. Not many people do, but I think they look fine, and I can't wait to buy one of the. I'm going for the XL. I think I've decided I'm going to get the XL.
Christmas gift for yourself, except early.
Except early. Well, it depends, since this is the UK and not America. I might not see it until 2016.
I might go do a hands-on video over in the States in a Microsoft store, and you still won't be able to buy one.
You might have to. I might have to give you money to buy me one, which will probably
open. There you go. That's an option for you and other folks. So I think they look pretty good, to be honest.
They do look good, and the new devices will when they ship. I'm not entirely sure when they're shipping. I imagine they will ship a little bit later than expected, because this week I learned that my original story last week is no longer the case. I wrote last week about the upcoming Lumia flagships and the 550, I guess, that they would not be shipping with Threshold 2, which is the upcoming update for Windows 10, which will be air quotes the RTM for Windows 10 Mobile, as the Microsoft hasn't really announced an RTM for Windows 10 Mobile yet, and with Threshold 2 they will announce it and release that onto old devices and so on. But last week I said that wasn't the case for the new devices. Microsoft was planning to release the upcoming handsets with a Threshold 1 build, and that was because...
Guess what, Zach?
What?
You was wrong.
I was wrong. Well, I wasn't wrong. Here's the thing.
Oh, you were right.
I was right,
And
but
now
they've
you're
changed.
wrong.
Apparently, the plans have changed. But here's the original plan. They were going to ship the device with Threshold 1 because Threshold 2, by the time the devices were ready and to be shipped, the Threshold 2 would have either just have been finalized or it would not be ready yet. So there would be no time to preload that Threshold 2 build onto the devices to ship. So the idea was they'd just ship the Threshold 1 build. People who buy the device will have that for a couple of weeks, and then when Threshold 2 is ready, they will get updated to it. But now I hear Microsoft is changing this plan. Now, keep in mind, this has been the plan for a while. Up until very recently, that was the plan. Now they've changed plans, and I believe they're now waiting. They're just going to wait for Threshold 2 to finalize, which I believe is still early November. So, and then after that, they will ship the devices with Threshold 2, which is kind of what people wanted in the first place. So I guess you lot win. You will get your devices with Threshold 2 after all, which is fantastic news. It's not bad news, really. And if you think this is Microsoft delaying, I kind of disagree, because Microsoft hasn't really announced a date for the upcoming flagships. So they can't delay a product that hasn't been announced.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're internally delaying it, but that's not a public delay.
Yeah,
That's not. They didn't tell us November 10th ship date and then move it.
Yes, exactly. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the story.
Yeah, I mean,
It's annoying because those 10240 builds that they were working on, they were working on for a while. There's many of them, I believe. I was told there's many of them a long time ago. So for them to, I guess I can see why they do it, because with the Threshold 1, I believe there will be a few features missing, and I'm not entirely sure if they could bypass carriers if they released it with Threshold 1 and then update it to Threshold 2, because you know what carriers are like. They take a long time to do things. So I think it's for the best if they just ship with Threshold 2 and
right.
Even if it does mean the devices will come a little bit later than usual.
Things that I want for these devices that have very little to do with like the advertised hardware specs that you'd see on a poster. I want them to work on like all carriers if possible. Just shove in all the radios.
Yeah.
And micro SD card support, which we initially had rumors about, but someone pointed out in the comments. I know who pointed out. Sargon pointed out in the comments. The 550 says micro SD card support on the slide, but the 950 and 950 XL don't. So I hope they just were advertising the bigger features, and micro SD was just like a given.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I want them to be updatable, not through carriers, because some of these, like Verizon, they didn't ship, like some of these people don't ship updates like ever, and it's just stupid. Like, we all know they work, and I don't know. I don't understand why some of these carriers don't want to support certain phones with something like an update. Like, that's not them selling it. That's not them whatever. It's just letting people update a phone. But whatever. So I hope that isn't an issue, like you said. I hope that. Isn't
I mean,
something.
I heard a while ago that Microsoft was planning to try and bypass this problem, but I haven't heard much of it since, and I believe that the rumor was shot down multiple times by other people. So
I sound like I'm in a war zone.
there's more things going on outside.
Can you see all the? Can you hear all the?
No, I can't hear it now.
Oh, never mind. Maybe I shouldn't say anything when it happens.
If we can hear
I
it,
agree.
I'll say, there's another fire shot going by. But yes, no, nothing's happening. So yes, Threshold 2 looks like it will be shipping on these devices, not Threshold 1. Great news for everybody, I think. Although it does mean the devices will ship a little later than expected, I think that's absolutely fine. And it just means a better user experience for those buying day one.
And I'll be honest. I like Windows 10, but it has some things that people I think would be turned off by. With phones, people are so impatient with their phones. They want just instant everything. If there are bugs and problems, I don't want them to ever see consumers. That'd be a big issue.
Welcome to the world of software.
Yeah, exactly.
Where bugs are number one, especially with Windows 10.
No news is good news.
Bugs.
Well, we have a little bit more Windows 10 news related to this, I guess. So those slides, they confirmed the Lumia 950, 950 XL, and Lumia 550. They called them that and all that sort of stuff. But there have also been some, I'll call them rumors, I guess, or speculation or some sort of, you're extrapolating data about a possible Lumia 750. So what happened is AdDuplex, they have apps on a variety of phones, and that's how they gather data. We did a statistical report cover story about them earlier this week, today or yesterday or whatever. And you get things like what's the most popular Lumia, how countries stack up, or all the 830s popular in Canada more so than another country, etc. But another thing that you get through AdDuplex is they get a listing of which phones are using it, including sometimes test phones, which makes me wonder, because the way it works is through apps. You think that they could find a way around this and that they wouldn't end up leaking devices, but they did. It's codenamed the RM-115 bracket 0246. It's a 5-inch device with 720p screen, which makes them speculate, and I'd agree with this, that it is not a Lumia 830 successor because it has a 720p screen, but it's also not the 550 according to AdDuplex. So if it's not the 550, but it's a 720 screen, meaning it's not the 830 successor, what is it?
What was the 830? The 830 had a 720p screen.
Did it?
Yeah.
Well, they're saying, I guess it could be the 830 successor, I guess, but it's not the 550 successor for sure. That's what they said. In fact, they use the hashtag not 550.
Also, has anybody raised the question, what happened to the X40 range? Why have they gone straight from the 30 to the 50s?
That got lost with Windows 9.
Yeah, but the 4 and 9 are not even related.
Oh, sorry. Windows 9.
I mean,
someone's running Windows.
Let's just skip a number for no reason.
Someone is running Windows 9 Mobile on a Lumia 940 in a parallel dimension. But here, we don't have it.
You know what's probably...
So actually, that's a good point, Zach. It could be an 830 successor, though some people seem to think it's not. But whatever. There's another phone, kind of less confirmed, obviously, than the other ones. The 830 successor kind of bounced in and out and in, and so there might be a Lumia 850 on the horizon too. We don't know when they'll announce it or whatever. So
yeah, I don't think that this will show up on October 6th.
No,
I think the three devices that we've seen.
It sounds to me like the 550 is in for the October 6th event because it's on these slides.
Yeah. I really hope they are available worldwide quite soon after the announcement. I mean, obviously with the whole Threshold 2 thing, if that plays out, then no, there's going to be at least a month, I believe, between announcement and release. But I mean, what I want is for them to release at the same time as everything, as like, at least the US. So when it rolls out to the US, I want it available in the UK and in France and in Australia.
You want my prediction, Zach?
Go on then, what?
You will be disappointed.
That's just Microsoft's tagline. You will be disappointed.
I mean, their ads sometimes.
I mean, I think you're right. I think it'll be US first, as always, and then in about 5 months, it'll just randomly one day appear in a UK store. Like, oh, okay, there it is. Available now.
I also... it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If you look at, like, Kantar's World Report on market share for mobile phones, there are countries in Europe where Windows Phone is more popular than iOS. Like, I know that's weird, but like in Italy, there are multiple months throughout this and last year where Windows Phone was more popular than iPhone. And there are other countries in Europe where you look and it's around 10%, 15%. It's not super high, but compared to a ridiculously low percentage in the US, to me, I would say we're doing well in countries other than the US. And some of these market share things, the problems that people say, these app developers don't develop, they just need numbers. Yeah, banks are specific to an area. Pinterest isn't specific to an area. If 300 million people in Europe used Pinterest on Windows 10 mobile, Pinterest would notice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the US app, they'd also get Pinterest. They get both. But for some reason, Microsoft still caters to the US market, even though they have more success in other countries for Windows mobile devices.
Right,
it's
yes.
very odd.
Very odd. It really is, but yes.
Like if we did a story, like we have stats for our readership. If we look, this isn't the case. Our number one readership is the US, I believe. But UK and India and Australia up there and Germany are up there well. If we started noticing that, like, we had a really high readership in India, but not in the US, don't you think we'd cater our stories a little bit towards India?
No.
Like, isn't that how that would work?
I guess we would. I guess we'd do something. I mean, no, I think it's different for a website, because websites are worldwide regardless. And we cover everything anyway.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I think you cater to your strengths a bit. I recognize.
I mean that's like saying Microsoft Bing is used quite a lot in European countries. Bing is really, really popular. In the USA, not too popular. But Microsoft has the most features in the USA, and Bing is kind of bare bones in European countries.
Right. Well, that's the same problem, though.
Yeah, but Microsoft, what you're saying, Microsoft doesn't do anyway. So there's no point.
Someone pointed out that it's not about percentages; it's about number of units, and I agree with that. But the number of units in like the 5 biggest countries in Europe is a significant number.
Right, yeah, but
like I don't know the numbers, but if you put all the cell phone users in Europe versus the US, I think those are somewhat close in numbers, right?
I'm not too sure about that. Maybe.
They call them like the big 5 or big 6 or whatever.
Yeah, but the UK is at least second, right? Maybe not. Maybe third or fourth after past India and other places. But the UK, I live in the UK. I need a new phone.
Yeah, I don't understand why it's that hard, but I guess distribution and whatever. But like I said, when I came to England, I wasn't ashamed to have a Windows phone.
I've never been ashamed.
Like, people don't make fun of you. No, I mean, whatever. I mean, shame. I'm just saying, I went to a store when I was about to move. I went to Verizon and AT&T, which are two of the biggest carriers in the U.S. And I tried to talk to them about Windows Phone. And the guy at Verizon, I think, basically tried to talk me out of it.
Yeah, they do. They absolutely do.
I think so. I mean, that was a long time ago. If memory serves, they look at you funny.
Yeah.
But when you go here and you say, I was like ready. I was like, I want a Lumia 930. And I'm like, is he going to say something? And they're like, okay, cool. Let's look right here. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, in the UK, they're just like, sure, whatever you want to do, you can absolutely have it.
Look, you want to buy a BlackBerry? That's fine. Like, they don't care.
They honestly don't. They really don't.
You'd be like, I want to buy this hard keyboard BlackBerry Android device. And they'd be like, all right, that's fine. Like, I don't care what you run.
Yeah.
You're giving us money. So I don't know why Microsoft wouldn't cater more to an audience where they use Windows phones and ads, that sort of thing. But whatever. I think it's weird, but that's a thing.
It's a shame as well, really.
Well, I guess on the topic of market share, you know where Windows Phone has a terrible market share?
Where?
China, which is where our next story is about.
Oh, yes. Although this isn't about the market share itself, Microsoft this week announced a partnership with the one and only Baidu. I'm calling them Baidu, Baidu. Probably pronounce something completely different, but Baidu is how I'm saying it today. So yes, Microsoft and Baidu partnered to deliver a local Windows 10 experience in China. So what does this mean? Baidu.com will become the default homepage and search for the Microsoft Edge browser in Windows 10. Baidu's new Windows 10 distribution channel, Baidu Windows 10 Express, will make it easy for Chinese users, internet users, to download an official Windows 10 experience. Additionally, Baidu will deliver universal Windows applications for search, video, cloud, and maps to Windows 10. So it sounds like Baidu is kind of going to be the forefront for getting Windows 10 and getting apps and other good stuff. Kind of like how in other places of the world, we go to Microsoft.com or we download it from Windows Update or wherever else. It looks like Baidu. What does that mean, though? Download an official Windows 10 experience. Does that mean just downloading Windows 10?
I don't know. I mean, I read I read an article this week about we're going to cover this in a sec. The Windows XP knockoff, but made by the Chinese government, and apparently pirating software is very common over there. I have no idea if that's true. I just read that in an article. But they said that it's very common for people to like pirate software. So maybe that's related to it being official as opposed to pirated.
Yeah, possibly. But yes, this is an official announcement. So Microsoft says Baidu has over 600 million active Baidu internet users, which is a pretty big number, so I can see why they went for this partnership. But what I find funny is that Baidu it's China-specific network, so obviously it's not really great for people outside China. But when like a few bills have leaked on the Baidu network, and it's like the slowest network in the world, especially outside of China. In China, I imagine it's great; it just works fine. But in Baidu, it's like, but outside of China, 4 kilobytes a second downloading. And when you're using 4 kilobytes to download a 3.5 gigabyte file, it takes some time and is very stressful. So
you'd have like an insider preview, and by the time it downloaded, you'd have another insider preview ready to be downloaded.
I'm actually, I like to think, I know it's not true, but I like to think that the speed is the same in China. So all this official stuff is going to be downloading at 4 kilobytes a second. So so that's that partnership announced. Pretty great for Microsoft, I imagine, and Chinese users. Will hopefully encourage more people to in China to upgrade to Windows 10. Microsoft says that there are already 10 million Windows 10 devices in China alone, so that's pretty fantastic. But I believe around 27% of all PCs in China are still running Windows XP, which is a lot of PCs when you consider how many people are in China.
Yeah, Windows XP is really, really quite popular in China. In fact, it's so popular that because it's no longer supported, the Chinese government made, basically, they made Windows XP again. like it even has, I'm trying to think here, there's a whole video, there's a website called Quartz. They took a really good look at this. They did like a full breakdown video, obviously. If you want to check that out, it's pretty extensive. I want to say quite long, honestly. They go through like everything. It's 10 minutes. I guess that's not too long. But it goes over basically the Chinese government, because Windows XP is really popular, made an operating system that looks almost exactly like Windows XP. Pronounced Neokillin. Neokillin? That sounds like a villain from like a movie, from The Matrix or something. Anyway, so you got Neokillin. They have things like My Computer and My Documents and all that sort of thing. And so they got Quartz got their hands on a version of it similar to the one that's shipping on like Dell. And to be honest, it's basically an XP replacement. It's an XP copy. It looks like it. It acts like it, except for the fact that you can't download like certain things on it. Like they tried downloading Chrome, didn't work.
Do you know why? Because it's not Windows.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's the issue, or it's powered by Linux, right?
I imagine so.
Yeah, I think it says it offers a, So it's powered by Linux, and I don't know, I think it's kind of funny. They basically said, fine, you're not going to support Windows XP, we'll make our own XP, with Neokillin as the title. And so it's, I don't know. Kind of interesting, but it's gaining quite a bit of popularity apparently, and you can get it on Dell devices and that sort of thing. So it's funny because one story this week about a major Microsoft partnership that helps their Chinese business, and then you have another one that's really about things that are really going to hurt their Chinese business. I also think China's a very interesting market share. It's a very different market share, and so I think there's some credit to be given to Microsoft for making a partnership with a company that they did, because they have to combat things like this Neokillin operating system.
You can't say that straight. Imagine being in like a courtroom. This Neokilling operating system has infringed my copyright. Neokilling.
I guess it's not copyright infringement or anything, I guess.
No, I know.
Is it?
No, I don't think so.
I guess you can just blatantly rip off of someone and it's not copying.
Well, also Windows XP is classed as abandonware now, I believe. I'm sure someone in the chat will correct me. But since it's been around for, I think, over 10 years and it's no longer in support, it's classed as abandonware, meaning Microsoft don't really care and you can kind of do whatever you want with it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised if that is the case. I'm not going to say I have no idea. But yeah, there's that. So, you got one good story, one, I guess not like a bad story. It's just, I wouldn't say it's as good from Microsoft's perspective, but it is interesting.
Yeah.
Hey, Zach, you know what came out this week?
What?
Images of the Microsoft Band 2. So the successor to the Vice that was so big and bulky that you stopped using it even though you have one, and even though I might be able to get one for free, I'm not going to use it. No, that's probably mean. Anyway, we have some images that have been revealed of the Band 2, and I bet you that they're a little bit thinner. They look a little bit thinner, so people might actually get it. Have you seen these images?
I've seen them, yeah. I'm not a big fan of this design, to be fair.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know. They still look a little bit bulky for what I was expecting.
Let me run through the images that we have here. It doesn't look that much thinner. It's got a curved screen, but who knows what it's made out of. I don't know. It doesn't look that different than the Band 1. It basically looks like a Band 1 that like lost 5 like a stone.
Yeah, but it needs to lose more weight. It's too thick.
Yeah, it needs to use its own services.
It's got a
and
nice.
lose some
It's
weight.
got a slightly curved screen though, which is better than what the current one has. So
I guess. I still think Microsoft should just make a smartwatch.
yeah.
I
I'll
mean-
probably buy this one as well because I'm a sucker
think so?
for Microsoft products.
And then you'll stop using it after 6 months, and then you won't ship it to me because I don't actually want it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, to be fair, I think the Microsoft Band. I mean, I was doing a bit of a bit. I think the Microsoft Band has good services. I think it's more of a. I don't know if I want a fitness device, but I don't think the Microsoft Band 2 really. It's going to have to offer something different, and I'm not sure you can differentiate yourself in the fitness market now, except by making your device a lot thinner and more comfortable, but then still doing same things. You know, I don't want to wear like a workout wrist weight in order to play golf and measure my strokes automatically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, so somebody in chat says, you say don't judge the 950 renders, but you're judging the Band 2 renders. You are correct. Don't judge it. Wait till it comes out. But I'm judging it because I judged the 950 ones anyway. And
I
think they're great.
I don't know. I mean, admittedly, this is a bit of a bit. I mean, because we have a history with the Band 2, or the Band 1, I guess. I think it looks better. I don't know. I don't know if people. I want a smartwatch, so I'm really jaded. I want a Microsoft round or square but thin smartwatch that does everything but actually works, and then I can use Office Remote on my smartwatch, just like you can on the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Julie is 100%. Is it Julie that said that? Yeah, Julie said it. Zach's British. Even if he doesn't judge out loud, he judges silently. That's what I said.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, do you think this is going to sell better than the Band 1?
I don't think so.
Do you think they'll make more of them than the Band 1? Because
Yeah, and it won't sell as well, I think. That's what's going to happen here. I don't see why they would.
what could Microsoft do that would make a band more popular?
Make it a smartwatch.
Make it smart. That's probably true.
Yes.
I mean, let me put it this way. Even the buzz around the Apple Watch kind of died out. So if Apple can't market something where people want it, and I mean, I know people have it. Don't get me wrong. I know people are spending tons of money on it. But you know, for a while there was like the buzz where it was like camping out, and every news story was about like the Apple Watch. And now people don't seem to care that much, right?
Yeah.
If Apple can't carry a medium or a type of device to become like mainstream popular, I'm really not. Microsoft's got like zero chance at making a thing like this popular, I think. So it's a good device, don't get me wrong. I mean, the Band 2 is accurate. It has a lot of features. It does a lot of things. If you're going to have a fitness band, it needs to be waterproof. It needs to work with swimming. It needs to be thinner. It needs to be better smart watchiness. It needs to work perfectly with Cortana. And it should be running on Windows 10, not Windows whatever. What was it before? What's the Band 1
I
run
think it
on?
was Silverlight. It was running some kind of Silverlight thing.
So nothing. So Microsoft has a universal operating system, so they need to shove that on here, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the band is tiny. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, to me, those are the things you need to do to make it perfect. But in any event, yeah. So there you go. Band 2 renders this week. There's that. All right. So we're moving on from Windows 10. I think this honestly going to happen, Zach. I'm not thrilled about this. I don't like this, but I do think this is going to happen. I want your thoughts.
So,
I think some people are basically going to live inside of Minecraft.
how would this work in the world, in the real world?
So, well, no, it wouldn't be in the real world. That's the thing. So we had a story this week. Minecraft for Windows 10 is going to be coming to the Oculus Rift virtual reality headset next spring. And people are really into Minecraft. I mean, somebody built like a working 8-bit computer inside of Minecraft. Was it 8? I don't know how many bits. But they built a computer inside a computer. Computerception. So I think people are basically going to live. They're going to get like a Bitcoin computer to just mine Bitcoin to make their living off of things they don't have to do. And then they're just going to live inside of Minecraft virtual reality. And they're just going to do that. And I think it'll be like, I don't know. I don't know. This is a bit of a bit. I do think people are going to play this a lot. Do you think this would be popular? Or how popular do you think this would be? A virtual reality mixed with Minecraft?
I think it would be fun.
Yeah?
I absolutely. Why would it not be fun? I mean, I know there's many people that think Minecraft is just a stupid game, but It's kind of like Lego for the modern world. Lego's fun, no matter how old you are.
It's kind of like Lego without limits, though.
Yeah, and also AI. Like, you can have little zombies running around.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
Because like Lego, like one Death Star set costs like $500. But for $500, you could get a lot of things in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Including probably a computer to play Minecraft, or at least parts of one. So yeah, I mean, I think this could be quite popular, and I think this. Is this going to work cross-platform with all the other Minecrafts?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Windows 10 work. Yeah. So this would be pretty fun. So you can play with your Xbox buddy, but you're inside virtual reality, and then someone else plays on their mobile phone. You have Minecraft everywhere, and I think it's pretty cool. You know what it kind of reminds me of?
But
Inception.
really, why?
When the guy's like, a world of infinite creation. The only limit is your own imagination.
Yeah.
Because you're immersed in a world that's literally anything you want it to be in block form.
I think it's going to be great. I mean, I wonder how Let's Play, because there's Let's Play is a big thing on the YouTube right now.
They could just do like Let's Play 24/7 Truman Show.
I guess they could, but how would you Let's Play with a HoloLens? Because only you can see it. I guess that's not going to be a thing at first.
They'll need to get those super awesome broadcast cameras that they use for the keynote speeches.
Yeah. That's a big investment just for...
like a $5,000 camera just so you can do your Let's Play videos.
Yeah. Not worth it.
Some of those Let's Players could afford it, so...
Yeah. I guess you're KSI with his Lamborghini and people...
I mean, some of those guys make so much money doing Let's Plays, so I'm sure they could buy a whole room. They could buy a studio for HoloLens.
Yeah. I wish I earned lots of money for playing games. Anyway.
I just have this image now of someone like... Do you watch Futurama?
No.
Oh, there's like a thing where they log into the internet with a headset, and then when they like move around, they like run around the internet.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting to. You just film that. So there you go. That's pretty cool. So yeah, you got that. There's some other video game news that you're a lot more interested in, right, Zach?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am very excited about this. This week there was a trailer for the upcoming Halo 5 game release. This is a second trailer. It's not really a trailer, it's more just of a cutscene of the second mission of the game, I believe. It's the Halo 5 Blue Team trailer. And it's with Master Chief. We finally get to see Master Chief doing some cool stuff in Halo 5. And he's with Chief. He's with his... Yes, I will always be Team Chief. I said this on Twitter yesterday or whenever it was. Team Chief, Master Chief is the best. Yes, so in the trailer, he's with his old squad, Blue Team, which is... who were they? They were the team before Reach, I believe. That's who he used to work with. Then they were gone throughout the majority of the games. But they're back now. And they're all in this. They fly through space. The original Halo music's back, which is kind of just the best thing ever. And and yeah, so it's pretty cool, hyping up the game even more. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Halo 5.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're really gonna make Master Chief the bad guy.
I think he has.
That's a thing, but they've set it up. Or what they're gonna do is like pit Master Chief against Spartan Locke, and then you'll be like, oh, who's really right? But then
Master Chief will always be right, even if he's wrong.
Master Chief blowing up worlds. He's got control of 5 Halo rings. He blew up a star system. Oh well, he's still right.
He's still Master Chief. It doesn't matter. He's only doing it because he misses Cortana.
I really like how much detail they've put into that trailer. Like Master Chief's hand has tremors and stuff because he's been going on so many missions back to back to back.
Yeah.
So it's quite fun. Yeah. There you go.
It is an exciting time indeed.
Yep. I want Halo Worlds to continue to be popular until we've reached the technology where you can play Halo in Oculus Rift or on the HoloLens.
Yeah.
Because then you can play laser tag and it would actually be Halo. But we got to keep it popular until that comes out and we can actually do it.
Indeed. Also, which is kind of unrelated, but the Star Wars Battlefront, is it? Yeah, Battlefront beta comes out in a couple of weeks. Excited for that, very much so. Very,
I
very much.
gotta get myself an Xbox
You
One.
do. What are you doing? You're missing out on such awesome things.
I
People in
don't
the
have
comments
stuff.
are moaning at us for talking about Xbox stuff when PC is obviously PC Master Race. I don't care. Xbox is cool for me. That's all I
We'll
play.
have our own podcast with Let's Play Gaming and Minecraft.
Yes, we could build a house.
We could build a house and then use green screen technology to make it appear like you and I are both in it.
Absolutely, that'd be a great idea. So yes, Halo 5 is out October 27th, 2015. We'll definitely be playing it. We'll probably write a review on it at some point. I'm still trying to get hold of a review copy because I know that, with like first-party games, Microsoft do that. So if I can get hold of one of them, that would be fun.
Why don't you call up Simon Pegg?
Just casually, he's on my phone. Us
He'll
British
share it
people,
with
we're
you.
all friends.
He'll share it with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't- you can do a Let's Play video with Simon Pegg.
Yeah, and Benedict Cumberbatch, why not?
Exactly, because you all know each other.
Exactly, we're all British people. All British people know each other. This is how
Do you
it
get
works.
that a lot when like people not from England meet you?
Do you know this person? No.
How about do you know the Queen? Yeah, I bet you get that a lot.
Do I know the Queen? Do I know the Queen? Yes, she's my best mate.
You know Kate Middleton? Yeah, me and Kate. Yeah,
We go way back.
We go way back. Nursery school, me and Kate.
There's some people, I know a few people who went to nursery school with some of the royal family.
Actually, that's not surprising. You're in London, so
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But yes,
if you're
anyway,
at the right schools, then you're gonna know those people.
enough about the royal family. Halo 5 is awesome.
That's true.
And moving on to some other stuff. Back to Microsoft, more Microsoft specific news. Office 2016 came out. Hooray!
Hurrah!
Office 2016. It is here and it's the latest version of Office. And if you're an Office 365 subscriber, you get an upgrade for free because that's what Office 365 is about. So Office 365, Mark Kopok wrote, is that how you pronounce his last name? Wrote an awesome review for us on WinBeta. And there are a number of new features in Office 2016. Nothing super new. There's a newish UI where the colours are back, like the Office colours there. So blue for Word, orange for PowerPoint, green for Excel. That's all there. And there's also a dark mode now, which is nice. And there's also a brand new collaboration feature. I'm only going to talk about this feature mostly because it's kind of the most outstanding feature. But you can now sort of edit documents with other people. So me and Sean, for example, can be in a Word document editing a story, and I can be at the top writing things, and Sean can be at the bottom writing things at the same time, and we can see each other's work at the same time and like edit each other's work and so on and so forth. So that is, I believe that's new in Office 2016. They are promoting it as such.
Could you do that on Office Online before, but now it's incorporated into the
I think
full
so.
Office
Yes,
suite?
I think that's true. Yes.
Yeah, I mean is it faster though? Like
It's faster for me, but then again, this is a new build. So I mean, if I
Okay.
click Word, I clicked it, it's open. So that's how fast it is here.
yeah, I mean because OneNote, I mean I wouldn't say it's real time, but that's OneNote 2013. Have you tried the new one yet?
The new Office 20, yeah, I'm running Office 2016 now.
Does it work? Like how fast is it? How real time? Give me like a imaginary
For
scale
opening?
1 to 10.
For opening apps.
No, real-time collaboration. Like 10 being, it's as if you were typing from my own keyboard.
I'd give it about an 8 because I mean it does take a second for it to come through. I mean I'm sure when you're typing it doesn't come through straight away for me,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it's pretty real. I mean I would consider it real time even though it's
Functional real-time.
functional real time. So
Okay.
if we're in a Skype conversation and you type something, it'll take a second or two to appear, or maybe a bit more than that, a few seconds to appear, but then I'll see it.
Well, it depends if Skype's running that day.
It does depend on Skype's on that day because is that our next story? I think it might be.
I don't know if it is. That'd be a great segue. If
It
was. No.
really isn't. You know what? I'm gonna make it our next story.
Yeah, go for it.
Guess what happened this week, Sean?
I know what happened this week, but I want to hear your
Sean,
answer.
Skype died. Skype died for a really long time, and I really needed to use it. It was completely dead. No, I mean, it was dead for everybody for a little while, but then it came back for those who were already signed in. But that was the day I just set up my new PC, so I had to reinstall everything. And as I was trying to sign into Skype, it wouldn't sign in. It just wouldn't sign in. And it was like that all night. I needed to talk to someone on Skype, and it's just the worst thing. But yes, Skype was down. Microsoft says it was down, and they apologized publicly, saying that we apologize for this. It was like the #1 trending thing on Twitter. The world ended.
Not the right way to trend on Twitter, Microsoft.
There was so many people on Twitter. I mean, it's funny, when Skype goes down, the people who are complaining about it aren't tech heads. They're normal people. Like, there's people that are, I can't get a Skype. What's wrong with Skype? It's the end of the world.
Skype is used by hundreds of millions of people.
It's true. That's exactly.
But I don't think people recognize this because they complain about like Skype hasn't been drastically updated. They're doing these new universal apps, and that'll be the first consumer-directed massive update, in my opinion, put into that. And I think we talked about this before. Maybe even talked about it last week. Other things of Skype get updated. Consumer Skype, it's like, yeah, whatever. But it's one of Microsoft's most used things. I don't think people recognize that.
Right.
So yeah, when it goes down, people notice because Skype's a very. There are other technologies that do similar stuff to Skype, but it's one of the only Microsoft services that's ubiquitous with what it provides. When you make a video call, people say I Skyped someone, even if they're actually using something else a lot of the time.
Well, that was the case, but with people who use iPhones, they actually do They do say I'm FaceTiming, which is it's the most annoying thing.
I never liked FaceTiming because you need to have two Apple devices.
Also, FaceTiming, I mean, that wasn't originally the plan, was it? Steve Jobs said it was going to be like an open platform, but it never turned out to be. Just the FaceTime, I think they go wrong by calling it FaceTime, because it's like, no one says, it's FaceTime. It's like, I'm going to FaceTime you. It's like, FaceTime, it doesn't work, I don't think.
I like Skype. It's short. It sounds like a verb. I'm going to Skype you.
Yeah,
Skype.
and BSkyB want to sue Microsoft for having Skype.
Yeah. Remember when we had that rant? Oh, that was fun. Man.
Skype.
What would they even change? Would they have to change it completely? Or could they do like Skype video and just add video to it? Or they'd still get upset?
I mean, I think it's the SKY bit in the name, which is why SkyDrive died and was replaced by OneDrive.
It's still unbelievable to me that's a real.
I think Microsoft's are in the clear of the whole Skype thing now, so that's good.
It seems like it. There's more people that use Skype than people that use Sky, right?
I would imagine. No, maybe it depends. So Sky's pretty big.
Are there 200 million people on Sky Cable?
Maybe not. No, I don't. Yeah, probably not.
I mean, I think I read there are 200 million monthly Skype users, so they should just win by default because there's more of them.
But as we know, Sean, numbers don't necessarily mean everything.
No, it's true. Yeah,
yes.
That's true. Anyway, so Skype is back now, though, as evidenced by the fact that we are using it.
You know what? I was thinking about that. What happens if it goes down on the podcast night?
Google Hangout.
No, we can't keep using Google Hangouts.
We did it last week. It worked okay.
Doesn't matter. We can't do it again. Yeah. I felt like I was cheating last week.
it's honey, no!
And I had a great time doing it. It was awful.
Joe Belfiore tweets you, "Hey, Zach, what's up? I'm thinking about checking into the podcast today." And you're like, "Oh, no!"
I had the Google logo. That would have been awful.
Sorry.
That would have been the worst thing ever. Luckily, that didn't happen. We're not big enough to have Joe Belfiore tune in yet. Unless he does and he doesn't tell us.
He could be in right now. He could be in.
Hi, Joe Belfiore.
Hi, Joe Belfiore.
Nice to speak to you. Right, let's move on.
All right. So, as I've mentioned before, I don't feel like this is cheating, and I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing for Nintendo, but most people recognize that you can have a Wii U plus another game console. Usually it's Xbox One or PS4, but if you have a Wii U, it's like an additional thing. So this is an Amiibo. It uses, I actually think it's powered by NFC, and you tap this to like your Wii U gamepad or whatever, and this, don't worry, this comes back to Microsoft. And they were quite popular. They also work with the new 3DS, I believe. And, these are kind of a little bit of a copycat of Skylanders, which is also a very popular, very similar technology. We get a figurine, NFC technology, or at least something similar to it. You tap, and it works. Well, now Microsoft has made a patent for, I don't know, to be honest, a lot of people frame this as like a similar technology. To be honest, I'm not sure it's actually going to look like this. I don't think you're going to have Master Chief riding around on a little disc that you then scan. But a somewhat similar technology with a connecting element with smart beads is something that they've patented. So it would look somewhat like a wearable. You got beads on there. I actually don't know if this is going to be strictly for gaming. I could see Microsoft trying to put this into business, almost like a wearable NFC band. I don't know exactly what they'd be using it for. But most of the tech industry kind of latched onto this and assumed it was going to be somewhat like the Amiibo. So let me ask you, Zach, other than something similar to this little guy here, what do you think Microsoft could do with a connecting element powered smart bracelet with smart beads? What do you think they could do other than
I have no
figurines?
idea. That's a really interesting question.
Because I honestly, it looks nothing like a toy. Like, it's just a bracelet. Like, it's not like Master Chief or one of their other people. So I wonder, what are they going to do with this?
It could be Cortana, the circle.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to think here. I mean, if you packed enough NFC stuff on it, it could almost be like a smart wearable. You know, you tap it and it activates your lights, or you maybe share contacts or whatever. I don't know, though. It's an interesting patent. Some of these patents never see the light of day, and sometimes they don't see them for the light of day for years. Like the Apple Pencil was I think that was patented in like 2011, maybe even earlier than that. But it didn't show up till now. So I don't know. If we see this or anything like this, it might be for a long time. But I don't know. What do you think, folks? Comment section. What do you think Microsoft could do with some sort of connecting element bead-like device? So there you go. That's not the actual poll, though. That's just let me know in the comments. We do have a poll this week, though, as we do every week. So if you're curious, I shall have a poll on Wednesdays. Then this week it was on a Thursday, and I might start doing it just when the biggest demand for a poll comes up. But in any event, this week we had a poll on which Lumia needs a successor the most. And this kind of stems from, we know there's a successor to the 930, that's the 950. The 950 XL is really the successor to the 1520, even though it's a 0.3 of an inch smaller. And then the 550 is obviously the successor to the 540. And so this week's poll is on which Lumia needs a successor the most that isn't already rumored to be in existence. 3 choices. You got the Lumia 435, the Lumia 830, and the Lumia 1020. So as always, Zach, which one of those 3 do you think needs a successor the most?
So say them again. I was reading something. Every time the podcast, you always ask me, and I'm always not listening.
435, 830, 1020. Which one needs a successor the most? Not will, but needs.
830. Did you say?
Real? Yeah, that was one of the options.
I believe the 830. I love the 830.
Really?
I do. It's
okay. Do your argument for this, because that's not the answer that won. So go. Why do you think the 830?
Because, well, this is a personal opinion, but I love the 830. I think it's better than the 930, minus the lower end specs. The build of the device, and when I reviewed the device, I loved it. I said in my review, if Microsoft had just packed the same specs inside this body of the 830, I would have absolutely used the 830 to this day. I mean, I kind of felt like using the 930 was downgrading my Windows Phone experience because of it.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I did, as I'm doing now, I did kind of like a defense or an argument for each of them. And when I did the 830, I basically said it was billed as an affordable flagship, but to a lot of people, it wasn't quite a flagship and it wasn't quite affordable.
It was like, I called it a flagship on a budget.
Yeah, I mean, this has been actually, I didn't know this, it's actually been moderately successful in Canada. It's actually one of the most popular
Lumias. It's a lovely
device.
It really
is.
In
Canada.
It really is a nice device. And it looks great in photos as well.
Yeah. So, well, it certainly looks good in our photos. Because if you go read the poll, we did, remember a few months ago, I did like a share your photos with us and then we'll use them in articles. One guy actually responded with what, honestly, I think this guy could make professional PR photos for people. Probably does. He said it was just a hobby, he or she. But
yeah, and he just gave them to us. I mean, I would have paid good money for that image.
That is like the best photo I've ever seen of a phone.
Have this photo. So, okay, thanks. And we've
he
used
gave me
like
a bunch of them. I think it was a he. He gave us a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But in any event, it's very, and you see now, if you look at this 830, now can you see why I said that the 950 and 950 XL look a bit like this phone?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Except rounded corners. But yeah, so I think the 830 is a good device, but as I said, I don't think it gained a lot of popularity. But again, this wasn't about what will have a successor, it's what should. So that's an interesting argument. The winner, honestly, this was expected by me. I thought this would be a landslide, and it was. The winner of the poll was the Lumia 1020, which won. What was that?
This is an interesting result for me because the 1020, although it was liked by people who owned it, it's aimed at a very niche, very small audience.
Well, I'll show you my arguments for it in a sec.
Okay.
With 1,199 votes, so not quite 1,200, the Lumia 1020 got a whopping 75% of the vote, which is not that surprising to me. So I said, it's not really a flagship. It doesn't really fit into the business or value segment, but it was one of the only Windows phones to have a memorable marketing campaign and have features that separated it from just about every phone on the market. And I think that's what a lot of people were going after here. The 1020 was something that you could show your friend and say, my phone does something that your phone could never do. And they built an ad campaign around it, which is actually moderately successful with like the people or like the parents are trying to take a picture of their kid's school play or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they're like climbing over people. But then the guy with the 1040 and like the mom and dad or whatever are just like, we're good.
Yeah.
And so like, it creates a niche market that you say, oh, your iPhone takes nice photos. This took a picture of the moon yesterday. So how about that? But to me, I think this is the one that it's not going to happen in my guessing. That's not like a source or anything. I don't think that it's going to happen, as if I have sources. I don't think it ever will happen. But I said, much like an SUV, the Lumia 1020 provided comfort and features at the expense of compactness. So I think it was a very unique phone. It was a very Windows phone. So I wasn't surprised at all that this won the poll. But that's interesting that you said the 830. That's very intriguing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not seeing the reason. Like, I'm not seeing a legitimate reason why Microsoft would build an accessor to the 1020, considering they can't really up the. I doubt they would up the camera module any further than it already was. Because let's be fair, that camera was a bulky piece of kit already. When you played the device down on the table, it would sit up like that because the camera back was so thick, and yeah, I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, I think a successor to the 1020 probably, I don't know, it would basically be the same phone but thinner. It would basically, we made a Lumia 1020 that works faster and isn't so big.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Lumia 1020. There you go. That was the winner of the poll this week. We'll have polls next week, as we do every week. So there you go. Last story, I guess. We're actually a little
rapid
over.
fire.
Ninja Cat. Are we not using that term?
We can
rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Ninja
Rapid
Cat.
fire.
Our own editor Kip. He was interviewed by Brad Anderson's Lunch Hour today. What do you think?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah. You know what? He's so important. He's gonna be in 2.
He absolutely is. They cut it into 2. It's like Doctor Who. Like last week was like the cliffhanger, and this week's the finale, and it's going to be the same here.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened to him.
They were like driving down the motorway, big emergency accident. They had to swerve, and it ended. Like, find out what happens next week on Brad Anderson's Lunch Hour. I should have directed it. You got to swerve on this car. You got to drive down the motorway backwards. It's going to be great.
Exactly. So there's that.
Yeah. I suggest you all go and check it out at WinBeta. It's a pretty interesting. They talk about a number of cool things. What do they talk about? Let's find out.
Kip is. Well, I saw it.
I did see it as well. I absolutely watched it. I liked the joke that Brad Anderson made. He says, "You work for WinBeta. That's great." And then he goes, "I've always wondered, is your biggest competitor WinAlpha?" I thought that was funny. Yes, that's true. They are. WinAlpha, they suck.
WinAlpha.
WinAlpha's like too early. It's like WinBeta's the perfect.
You know what the issue is? WinAlpha. It's a website. They got way better content than us, but people keep trying to use it. But it's in alpha, so they can't open the website.
It's just terrible, and all the information on that website is in alpha, so it always changes and it's usually wrong. It's kind of like how sometimes that happens in beta, but not all the time. On alpha, it happens all the time. You write about alpha software, it's likely going to change. It's just how it was. How it is.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, they're over there on the wrong start menu. They're on the start menu that got shipped to RT, but on the regular Windows 10
Yeah, but
device.
many people prefer that start menu, actually. So don't say that. Don't say that.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I think that's the podcast this week. So yes, this has been the WinBeta podcast for the week of September 25th, 2015. With me has been Sean Michael. You can find Sean Michael on Twitter at Sean. Yeah, you do it.
Yeah, at Sean_Michael_UK.
And you can find me, Zach Bowden, on Twitter at ZachB_. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at winbeta.org, on Facebook at winbeta.org, on Google Plus, just search for us, and on YouTube at winbeta TV.
Tell your friends. We want more friends in the podcast.
We want friends, family, other people, the Queen. Why not? Why not? So yes, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.